Mortgage. It is now 8:13, and although the housing market has improved tremendously, there are still many people who are underwater or struggling to make their mortgage payment. Just recently, President Obama announced his plans for America's housing. Here with us this morning with everything you need to know and what it could mean for you is our Fox 29 Common Sense lawyer, Shari Olefson. Shari, good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, John.
Well, a big plan unveiled. What does the president have in mind to help these people and basically everyone everyone's house values and as well as ownership?
Sure. Well, the president's plan is actually more like a wish list, but it does have something on there for everyone. It's sort of lacking in the details that you would need in an actual plan to actually implement it and start it tomorrow, for example. But it's got something for everyone. And like you said, we have about 10 million people who are underwater, about 6 million people who are in default. So the president, in terms of the refinances, would like to keep people in their homes with refinances by streamlining, cutting some of the red tape on that, similar to the streamlined mortgage modification that we've recently talked about. As far as mortgage modifications go, he'd like to continue being aggressive with those mortgage modifications. But remember, John, almost 40% of those HAMP modifications, for example, end in a redefault again. So sometimes if it's just not an affordable home for you, then it's just not affordable. What is new, though, is the president is proposing that we increase rental assistance because so many more people are renting and rent has gone up so much. But that sort of begs the question, what do you think government's role in housing should be? Should it be to help folks get into homes, or should it be to help folks pay their rent, which of course that rent ultimately goes to the landlords?
And how much should the government be involved? There seems like President Obama right now is trying to do what he can. What about longer term, the longer term plan? What does the president have in mind for Fannie, Freddie, FHA, and the government's role in America's housing finance in general?
Sure. Well, let's remember that before Fannie, Freddie, and FHA, if you wanted to buy a home, you could only get a loan for 2 or 3 years, and you'd need almost 50% down. Wow. So the goal was to make home ownership more accessible for people. In that regard, it worked. Those organizations did work, and you know, they've been painted as evil organizations, but the truth is they've paid back almost all the money from the bailout. Fannie Mae was the third most profitable financial institution in the country last year, and I can tell you personally, the people I know who work at Freddie and Fannie are hard workers and dedicated people, so they're not these evil organizations. But there are proposals pending in the House and Senate and the president's proposal to kind of fix some of the infrastructure conflicts. For example, Fannie and Freddie have always had government favors, like the implication that they would guarantee these loans if they went bad, which ended up costing taxpayers money. At the same time, they're owned by private shareholders and investors, so there's a conflict there. So clearly everyone's proposal is in agreement on changing that. It's just the details of how to do it, when to do it, and what government's role, again, should end up being in housing in the long run.
All right, Shari, good information. We'll have to leave it there for today.
Sure.
Thanks again for being here. Now let's send it over to Mediator.